everyone. How are you doing today? I am here with Fit2DMax TV, and we're here with Gina. Gina Manley. She is an awesome fitness and wellness expert. She's also a client here at Fit2DMax, and she's had a tremendous transformation. And we just want to make sure we brought her here so that way she can help other people, inspire them through her story. So Gina, welcome.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How you feeling today?
I feel fantastic.
Yeah, you always feel fantastic,
I do.
don't you?
I do. It's all in the mindset, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely all about mindset.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here today, and really what I want to do is this, because, I've gotten to know you over the past few months, and, we've been working closely together, and I think that you just have an amazing and awesome story to share. So, first things first, I just want to ask you, what encouraged you to get started on your fitness and wellness journey?
So, I had struggled with my weight my whole life. Was always been a yo-yo dieter, and all the trappings that come with that, all the things you feel on the inside that people don't necessarily know on the outside, but how you feel on the inside, and the negative voice, and I was tired. I had enough, and I'm middle-aged. I'd like to say that I'm just middle-aged, and I was facing the prospect of, after 25 years with my company, having to go out and get a new job, and I needed to get in shape in order to do that, because I knew I wouldn't feel comfortable interviewing, and my clothes didn't fit right, and so it was just time. It was just time.
Yeah, so you just decided at that point in time that it was time to make a change.
It was time to make a change, and I'm married to someone who had some pretty serious heart health issues, who was very overweight and had been his whole life. And he, at about the same time, said, I've got to do something. And so we were introduced to a program that we decided to try and see how it worked. And we didn't just change physically, but we changed mentally, and we changed health-wise. Our lab work changed, and our mindset changed, and our weight changed. And so it's like having a whole new life at 55. Right.
So just to give the viewers a little bit more context, kind of walk people through exactly where you started. Where were you at in terms of your physicality? Where were you at weight-wise? Where were you at mentally? Paint that picture for people so that way they can walk with you on that.
I was about 32 pounds heavier than I am now, which wasn't my heaviest, but it's where I was when I started. And I've always been a walker. I have 2 dogs, and so walking was always my thing. I don't like to exercise. I haven't been in the gym since 1985 when I graduated from college, and I never went, which is why I never joined one again. And I have a basement full of DVDs and video cassettes, and I would do them for a while.
Tell me some more of the DVDs that you have there.
I don't even remember. I've got all kinds of stuff, but I would do it, and then I would lose interest because I really didn't know what I was doing. And it was hard, and I was tired, and I have to do it. I'm an early morning exerciser, because once my day gets going, I'm never going to do it.
Right.
Which is why walking was so good for me. So I always walked, but I didn't enjoy anything else. But as I lost weight, I knew, and I'm getting older, I knew I had to get stronger. And I didn't want to be one of those older ladies whose, bones are brittle and everything. And I wanted to increase strength, but I wanted to firm up and shape up. And because I never had been. And now that I was thin, now let's get some toning in and definition. And then I met you.
Absolutely. So when you started on that journey and you started the weight loss, and you're seeing the weight drop, and you're making the psychological shift, the mental shift.
Sure.
What were some of the obstacles that you ran into, that you faced when you were going through that journey?
Well, I think I faced what most people face when they are trying to lose weight. It's the challenges that are in front of you. It's but I want to go out with my friends and have more than one cocktail or eat what I want, or I'm drawn to that, whatever it is, the chips and salsa, the pizza, whatever it is.
Yes.
And
because we all like the pizza and the chips and the
right,
salsa.
right. I'll just start tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll take tonight off. I'll start tomorrow.
Right.
But probably my biggest challenge was the habit I had always had, as someone described to me, is when I had a flat tire, I would slash the other 3 instead of just fixing the flat tire.
Right.
So if I had I've always been a rewards eater. Had a great day, I get a Dairy Queen. I've had a bad day, I get a large Dairy Queen. And then I've had that, so, well, I might as well just blow out the day. There's the other 3 tires. And I might as well just keep eating because I've already ruined the day, so let's make it worse.
So what do you think are some of the dangers of having like the reward mentality?
Why is food a reward? Because if it's a reward, then it's a comfort. But is it really? Is that comfort? It's comforting for 10 seconds.
Right.
And then for me, it was the negative voice that would start in. You can't do anything. You can't stick to anything. You're destined to be like this forever. You might as well just keep eating. I couldn't listen to that voice anymore. I just couldn't. And so that was a challenge because I had always been, it's a great day, let's celebrate with whatever.
Right.
It's a bad day, let's celebrate with whatever. And that was one of the new habits I had to form, was not to celebrate with food or drink, but celebrate in other ways.
Right.
And that was a challenge. That was a challenge not to give into that.
Yeah, so you cited that as being like, one of the habits that you had to change for you to be able to make some more progress on your fitness and wellness journey. Do you feel like maybe there were some other habits as well that you kind of paired with that to help you move along that direction, or was like that habit the one major habit that you had to kind of adopt?
Well, for me, that was probably the biggest thing I had to change because I had just always been that way. I mean, hey kids, we had a great day at school. Let's go get ice cream.
Yeah.
And so that was, but also I wasn't fueling my body right. So I had to learn to eat 6 times a day, and I had to learn to eat small portions, and that what was enough, because I'm going to eat again in 3 hours. So instead of the giant apple, because it's fruit, so I might as well eat an apple as big as my head. Well, why not have an apple that fits in the palm of my hand?
Yes.
Because I'm going to eat a little something again in 3 hours. So that was something else that was a challenge for me because I had never eaten that way. I was never a 1 meal a day eater, but I wasn't a 6 times a day eater.
Yeah, and that's a major shift as well, because when you're talking about eating the multiple meals throughout the day, I mean, you're talking about, number one, cooking first things first, kind of planning out in your mind, like what you're going to eat, and then going to the grocery store and shopping for those things and having the list, and then preparing the meals. And if you can't cook, then that's another barrier for some folks. And you have to go through all those different things.
You have to go through all those different things. You have to learn to plan ahead when you're going to a restaurant, and that's the beauty of the internet age, is that every menu is out there.
Yes.
So you could kind of get a feeling for before you go and mentally prepare of what you're going to do so that you enjoy yourself without ruining your progress.
Right.
So all those things were new things I had to learn. But I was ready. I was ready. But what I was mostly ready for was to never go back. I had always been like this my whole life. I never wanted to go back. I never wanted to have that negative voice talking to me. I never wanted to be the floating head in a picture again. I never wanted to catch my reflection somewhere and go, what have I done to myself?
Right.
I never wanted to go back to that. And so I was really determined that this time it was for real.
Yeah, this time is for real. I mean, that's a powerful statement right there. Now, did you find that there were fluctuations as you were going through that process? Was it everything smooth sailing?
No, I wouldn't say everything was smooth sailing, but everything was laid out pretty well for me. And so it was not a difficult thing to do. But again, there's always the challenges, because there's we're going to a wedding, how do we handle this? We're going to this, how do we handle that? So, but it was kind of fun to challenge myself, and I think Steve felt that same way, because
Steve, your husband,
yes,
right? Mm-hmm.
Because when you're done and you've placed that challenge in front of yourself and you've gotten past it, it's pretty empowering. And I like that feeling.
Yeah.
I like that feeling a lot better than, oh, here we go again. So it was easy to stay motivated because I liked that feeling better. And I didn't want to lose that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of success. And,
Yep.
we always talk about this a lot. Once you see one success, that one success is not enough. You want to see more success. And, we're all creatures that really drive off of progress,
Correct.
And I think that a lot of times when people do start that wellness journey and they don't see the progress that they feel like they should see or that they expect, I think that's when they run into those challenges and those difficulties, and how can they reconcile the fact that they're making these sacrifices to live that healthy and active lifestyle.
Right. And then I say, but is it really a sacrifice? Because I know what the alternative is.
Yeah.
I've seen it with my family or with my husband's family or whatever. I would rather make those do the work now and not pay for it later.
Absolutely. All right, well, I mean, I'm sure that when you go on this journey, you're seeking allies, you're doing the education and the research, and then also you're seeking out tools and resources and things that can help you along that journey.
Correct.
What are some of the things that were really, really powerful for you as you were going on this wellness journey?
So the program that that Steve and I did, one of the pillars of it was working with a coach.
And what's that program called?
It's called Optavia.
Okay.
And you work with a coach, and it's someone who guides you, mentors you, talks you off the pantry shelf, has you plan for your vacation, so you are going to enjoy yourself, but you don't want to come back 10 pounds heavier from that cruise or whatever. So, and your coach is there to motivate you and to listen to you and understand you, and that was new for me. I'd never had someone that was invested in me and my health, and it made me want to invest in my own health. And then community. The program has an incredible community support where, you feel like you're alone. You feel like, no one knew how I felt inside, because that's not what I portrayed outside. And then you find out that there's a whole lot of people out there that feel the way you do before and after.
Yes.
And you're in this big community of people who uplift you and help you and give you suggestions and cheer you on, and who knew? And then the education and science behind not only the program, but what eating 6 times a day does for your body and how that changes you. So it's not a diet.
Nobody wants to go on a diet.
It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's a it's a transformation, and your goal is optimal health. And the weight loss for me became like the third row seat to the transformation. The mindset shift probably is the first and foremost, was the greatest benefit for me and for long-term success. The healthy habits I've learned probably came next. And then, oh, by the way, I lost weight and I changed my shape and I changed the way I looked. But it's not so much that, it's how I feel. How I feel physically, how I feel mentally, that has been the greatest outcome of the last year.
Yeah, and I mean,
and it's a year tomorrow.
Yeah, oh wow, how hot. And I think that's the thing I've always admired about you, the fact that when you came here, you already came here with a story and a journey and a testimony, and it's a powerful thing because we get to deal with that a lot on a daily basis. So, I've been hip with people who are going on that journey. So it's something I've always just admired about you, and I've always applauded you and your efforts and your strength and your courage to really do something that a lot of people say they want to do, but for a lot of folks, it's just hard for them to kind of walk it out step for step and really see the end of that journey. So now you're kind of at that point where you're welcome. So you're at this point now where you're strength training and you're doing these different things. Tell people a little bit more about what you're doing now.
So I decided to coach the program. I want everybody that I know and love to feel like I do, and to have the rewards that my husband and I have had over the last year. And so I started coaching the program, and I have to say that I've never been as professionally fulfilled as I have been since I started coaching about, this is September, so about 8-9 months ago as I started coaching. And when I told you that I thought my job was going to go away and I was going to have to interview, well, my job did go away after 25 years. The company I worked for just dissolved. And I put my efforts into coaching as going to be my full-time career.
Absolutely.
And it's another part of the life change. I mean, talking to people on a daily basis who know my story, know Steve's story, maybe feel like I do, and helping them achieve optimal health. What could be better than that? Because that you do it all day long too. Mm-hmm. There is nothing more fulfilling than those aha moments for a client, and those, when I get a text or a phone call that, oh my gosh, I just did this, or the scale said this, or whatever it is.
That's the best. Yeah.
It is the best.
And
so now my goal is to help others to achieve this, the same thing that we did, and it's been wonderful. And hopefully, those people will become coaches as well, because it's a way to pay it forward. It's a way to help those that you love achieve their optimal health.
Right, paying it forward. I mean, it's such a powerful thing, and it's a selfless thing as well. I mean, and I know that in you being able to help other people and pouring out a lot of yourself into others, it's an energy producing thing, but it's a rewarding and gratifying thing.
Absolutely.
As well. How has you been a coach? Because I know for me, and we've talked about this off camera, when you're a coach and you're kind of deemed as this fitness expert, one of the things that it does do is it reinforces the things that you're asking people to do, and from when you're pushing them to live that healthy and active lifestyle.
Yep.
What have you found has the benefits of being a coach and coaching others and pouring into them? How has that translated into your personal fitness and wellness?
Well, you're 10 times more likely to maintain your transformation if you're helping others achieve the same thing. it's not that you don't ever have a piece of pizza or whatever, but it's different now. And the one thing you can do for yourself is decide that it's today, and you cannot lament anything that happened before that moment, because you can't change it, but you can make a decision today to move forward.
Yeah, no, that's great advice, and I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be able to take that and run with that today, and really make that decision and decide that I'm going to change my life for the better, you know. And I think the second thing I want to bring up is this. I think the fact of you going through that success journey, and then now becoming a coach, it puts you in a dynamic situation where you can speak to the mountaintop and the valley experience all at the same time. And I think empathy is a powerful thing when you're coaching people. So I want to make sure that people who want to connect with you, who want to learn more about your story and want to speak to you as a coach, and may even think about working with you in the future, if they just want to strike a conversation with you or ask some questions or whatever, what are some of the ways that they can get in contact with you?
So I have a Facebook. It's Gina Grossbeck Manley. A lot of people reach out to me there and send me a private message through there. I have an Instagram as well, GG Manley. And so that they can contact you, Max, and you can put us in touch. And just like I put people in touch with you, we do a little text.
Right.
But that is the best way to get in touch with me and to just have a conversation, because that's really how it begins. It begins with a conversation.
With a hello.
With a hello. It begins with a conversation to understand what your health goals are and what you're trying to do, and then we work from there.
Absolutely. And we're going to make sure, if you're watching us either on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, that the information is going to be below, so that way you'll be able to contact Gina directly, or you can reach out to us and we'll set you up with Gina. And I mean, she's always open and available, and she's willing to speak to and help anyone that's going through a challenge, fitness and wellness wise, and is looking for a change and looking to transform like she did, you know. And as you can see, she looks amazing. She's doing
That's
great.
all, Max.
And you know, we're just, you know, she's a treasure, she's a jewel, and we're just so glad to have you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So that's it for today, folks. Remember, you can be fit, or you can be fit to the max, spiritually, mentally, and physically strong. Take care, and God bless.
Thank you. Bye.